goes down. The thing is, it won't go down alone. It will take with it the likes of Ndume and many others. Because yeah, in case if you don't know how they operate, it is either their way or the highway. Yes. So Ndume believes, which is true, that those around appointed by Tinubu are just there to work on what they can make for themselves. Absolute truth. There is no mixture, rather. I mean, you have been hearing about Bill. Okay, take a listen. Bokwari borrowed in 8 years, right? Bokwari borrowed the total of 110 trillion. They are hiding some of them from you, but they said it is just 85 trillion. I don't know. My record says 110 trillion. That was the debt, right? How much Bokwari borrowed. And including the money he printed, though, right? And up to this moment, nobody can point to one thing. Started, completed with part of that money. Nobody. To this moment, nobody. And not just that. That's for 8 years. Within that 8 years, out of that money, 27.4 trillion was printed cash. If you exchange it with the exchange rate of that time, that is over $50 billion. $50 billion. The money was shared among all the 36 states and the local government and the rest of them, and the money disappeared. Rather than reduce poverty, improve infrastructure, it got them more decayed, and poverty became the way of life. Then fast forward to last year, and Susiwaju DSC to this year. Between May 2023 and May 2024, Tinubu has printed over 15 trillion to start with. Odukonyo, just 1 year of 15 trillion. And he has borrowed extra 19 trillion. If you convert it to 34 trillion in 1 year. Now, poverty has become something that is now doing, what do you call it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 challenge in Nigeria, jumping from year to year. And nobody is safe as we speak. In 1 year. So you can imagine what it is going to be like. But if you ask them, oh yeah, what did you do with 34 trillion? Oh yeah, ask them. What did Tinubu and your state governors, what did they do with 34 trillion? This is borrowed money. Do you know how much they have shared in the last 1 year alone? I will tell you, sure. At the average of sharing over 2 trillion naira, at a point they shared over 4 trillion. But let's just use the average of 3 trillion in a month. Federal, state, and local government, right? Since Tinubu came in and told you he removed subsidy. Remember, all of them have been collecting more money now. Right? At the average of 30 million, do you know how much that is? That is 36 trillion naira. 36 trillion naira is the money they have shared among themselves. Among that money, they borrowed, then they borrowed another 34 trillion. That's over how much? 70 trillion. How much? 70 trillion naira in 1 year. People are more poorer. They are starving. People are dying. And it's obvious everywhere. So imagine what it's going to be like. So it's going down. And it is filled with kleptocrats. Our kleptomaniacs. Kakistocrats. People who are just there, called opportunists. And you can see on their faces, all of them, in the face of the failure and failing country, or failed country though, right? They are still there, expanding and, wasting that same scarce resources, Baba. Yeah? So yeah, he's right. I just don't know how long it's going to take them for the entire thing for the ocean to hit the fan. Because I was, in fact, you know what? Let's go to that Jos. I want to show you what happened there. The scene of the collapsed building. Just before I get kind of more and more into this. Here is the scene of the collapsed building in Jos North. It's called a secondary school with students inside. May the soul of the departed rest in peace. I mean, is that not the common saying? Because I don't know how hypocritical that is. Because I don't understand how the life snuffed out of you like that will have your soul's rest. That's gonna make my soul restless. Because you'll be wondering what happened. Like, if we were to imagine what it's gonna be like that, you are seated there figuring out and trying to figure out how to answer this question, right? A child sitting for an examination in an unsafe place, writing, and then that's it, dead. How can such a soul rest when people responsible for that poor structure are still very much in government? They are still there building the similar structure everywhere, endangering the lives of more. And not until when another one happens again, right? Nobody cares. So when we do that prayer, sometimes it sounds kind of, to me, hypocritical, but we still say it because everyone says it. But justice for people who died in what do you call it, in a construction defect or something like that, in order to prevent such happening again, people responsible for such a structure not only should be, after investigation, found that to have used some substandard materials in constructing these things and cutting, just because they corruption, or just because they are cutting, their own whatever, like called their own profits. Corruption, then they build their substandard structure that can take your life anytime. They build their substandard roads, they build substandard schools, they build everything substandard enough just because of what they want to take for themselves. Nobody really get punished for it. No. Just ask yourself, what is the worth of life? And as for the children who are witnessing that, the trauma will remain with them as they are lifting their colleagues from the rumble, right? As they are lifting them up, putting them on the ambulance, dead. So the trauma will remain with them as well. And that is the baptismal fire of being born in and raised in the contraption. If you survive in that place, you can survive anywhere. That's also another slogan of a typical Nigerian. They will tell you, if you survive in Nigeria, you can survive anywhere in the world. Because the way we were baked, the trauma we were subjected to, they say they are meant to make us strong. They are not to keep. They said if they don't kill us, they are to make us strong. But this is a lifetime trauma that have created millions of monsters in a country that is now, man, so lost, right? A lot of us have been so messed up. Our brains messed up. Our, everything messed up right from when we're so young. And we're just meant to be stronger, just live through it and become a strong man, a strong woman. Damaged people. And they continue to do that even to our children. They will continue, the system continue to do that, to continue to damage our own children too. There's no way the damaged people can make a good country. So probably, if they have to conduct a research on the trauma that every Nigerian has been through, we might actually have the answer to why the worst of Nigeria are the ones leading Nigeria. It could be probably the answer will be there. How our DNA, our gene, our thinking, our mental health were all messed up. To create a country where you just be like, oh, what's going on? People thinking like this and all that. So a young man who had his tricycle confiscated by decay, being a last man, or what have you. So they took his tricycle, his commercial tricycle from him, and he became jobless. And that's his own means of survival. They were asking him for a bribe. He had no money. He kept going back to the place to beg them to release his tricycle. They won't accept he pay a bribe. And guess how much is the bribe? 50,000 naira. This young man won't be able to even pay 5,000 naira if he doesn't have his tricycle to work with. But the cold-hearted criminals, right, who decided to use their little position as well, just what it is in that contraption. Everyone want to, everyone want to sort of assert their dominance. Every given power, every little power, even person with them saying they share drink for party, himself could be like a chairman and say he won't give to those he chooses not to because he has the power to decide who is going to have part of, who's going to share in that drink, in that drum. So power, those they put in charge of food, they will kind of, assert and exercise some power. They can decide who eats and who is not going to eat. Same thing applies to those in public office. No empathy, no sympathy, no human anything. It is just part of the damaged people who are also working the system to damage others as much as they can. So they saw his situation and it was like, you won't be the first. Go and find something else to do. We have taken your tricycle. If you don't pay us, we don't give it back to you. The young man won't have the money. The young man was suffering. He couldn't take care of his family. At a point, he decided to just go there and end it. So he went straight to the office, found a tree nearby, and he hung himself. A typical Nigerian. And you know something, right? As tragic as that is, as sad as it is, as this, the story itself, as heartbreaking as it is, sometimes I kind of feel like without having to use the tragedy of one, okay, to sort of push an agenda. This is not an agenda, it's just a pure advice. Like, number one, the system has rigged you so much. The criminals have taken so much from you. They give you Okada when they are doing campaigns. Then they confiscate the Okada after the campaigns because they want to be seen walking. Then they repeat the cycle all the time. Now you have different people who are multitasking you. This is a country where jobs are not being created. You have to create your own job. Now you have found a means of trying to do something legally. Then the government built a business on you with different kind of people collecting money from you every day, collecting your earnings from you. Now you are enduring that. That's so bad enough. You are not supported. You are being what? You are being ripped off. You know it. But you are just coping. They do whatever they like anytime they want. You can't see anything. Then you're so tired of it all. They want to kill you. Okay, say you want to kill me. Okay, I'll go kill myself. Alaye, why you no go kind of like, why would you just go down just like that? Since you've concluded that you want to kill you or you're going to kill yourself. That's such a coward way to go. If Nigeria's situation frustrates you to the point that you think you want to end it and you want to off yourself or something, which I completely advise you against, talk to somebody. Like, why would you kind of end your life? Now, if you have to do that, I mean, why should you kind of like go down alone? Like situation that gets you thinking enough that I'm just going to. But that means you are irredeemable. So why would you just go and leave the people who caused you that? Typically, right? This is the way that people kind of, you see, I'm talking to some of you who are so, I don't know what people are going through, and I don't know how deep what you are going through is. I have said this before. No matter what you are going through in Nigeria or anywhere in the world, don't kill yourself. Honestly, life is, life is in phases. Well, I know. I might be speaking from a position of privilege. You may be looking at me like, okay, I'm speaking from a position, he's talking from the UK. So he's trying to be a motivator. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not trying to motivate you. I'm just trying to kind of tell you what and how I see life and whatever you are probably going through, especially in Nigeria. I have been there too. And not once did I ever think, oh, you know what they talking from where I come from? About no matter what, I don't keep myself. And it's true. But if you have these so strong feelings that see what this government has caused you, it is also a means of protest to take the battle to them. What's the worst case? They'll kill you. Okay? Let them do it. Let the world see it and see why you were killed by them. So it's such a coward way to go. A lot of people are doing it. They are jumping over the bridge. My life has no meaning. I have been a graduate for 10 years. I do not have any purpose. Because of this, I'm sorry, dear. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, mom. I'm sorry. Come on, man. You could become a symbol that will kind of end it, even if you have to. Because if you let them say, okay, somebody who has been without a job, a graduate without a job for 10 years, drove straight into the government house where the governor and his cabinet were meeting, armed to the teeth, and the rest is history. That is how Akwa State became governorless. They say, jobless people don't they enter government house now to deal with this their governors, their lawmakers. Hey, we better do something. I beg, how many jobless people do we have in our state? We will do something. You just go out there and your news is everywhere, and a lot of people are just being like, those who are responsible for this, they won't take any responsibility. The other day, that guy that climbed the MTN mast in Abuja, they have sent him to psychiatric home now. After that, he's going to go to jail for 1 year. You will never hear from him again. Yeah, they have law. If you try to kill yourself in Nigeria and you fail, you will go to jail for 1 year after psychiatric examination. So you need to do your findings very well. If you feel like you won't end up, Why not just get yourself ready, I'm just and all of that stuff and enter Aso Rock? See how many you fit take down before they take you down. At least you go die. I mean, you go like a warrior. You go like a hero. The whole world will tell your story. Instead of a story of a frustrated man, frustrated by the system, that hung himself in front of the office. They will ask them to bring you down and take you somewhere, and that's it. They will continue to victimize others. They will continue to what? Traumatize others. And is that going to be the cycle? The cycle will be like, oh yeah, we'll just go in and Jerry. So me, there's so much, I'm equal anymore. What do you think? For example, now, those of you who have lost everything, when APC, when you are, maybe some of you joined them to shout change. Maybe you didn't. But just imagine you've lost everything. You won't try to japa and deny you visa. You can't lose everything. No more, no nothing anymore. You can't deny Nigeria, they talk say, oh, you are now wondering, but level, yeah. If you don't get to that level that you cannot talk to people, you cannot. Hang on, I want to sneeze.
Somebody say you should be saying that all this your shepherd and he is using bodyguard. Sorry, and that is what religion has done to a lot of people, including our nation. When you keep on telling our people that giving will make you rich, and we have several graduates who are jobless. Giving will make you rich, and you are giving to the rich, and the Bible says you become poor. Me, conveniently, you see me using 5G by your 1, by your 2, by your 3, by your 4, and the 6th one, Mopo, Amatekun. Then the one in front, Soldier, and you are still giving to me. You are not waking up. Somebody say you should be saying that.
You are not. I just had this big sneeze, and I didn't want to have that captured on the camera, right? Anyway, so please don't kill yourself. Talk to people. I know they have an emergency number in Nigeria. They should have an emergency number in Nigeria. For example, if you call 112 in Nigeria, you can speak to an emergency line if you really need help. Yeah, I know you don't believe me, but it does exist. I'm serious. Okay. There was one where, I didn't save the video. I would have shared that with you, right? There's one where you could, oh my God, I'm going to do it again. Please.
What shall I say unto the Lord?
Yes, Lord.
All I have to say, thank you, Lord.
Let me thank you, God. You get what I mean? So they've got this 112 in Nigeria. You could call them. It's just that I don't even know if those ones too are also like they are also affected, so to say. So I'm going to go look for that clip and I'll share that with you. Okay. And yes, don't kill yourself. And if you get to that stage and all that, I will advise you go like a hero. Okay. Do it in a way that so many Nigerians are going to, you won't believe what you're going to become. So, but the criminals in Nigeria have also said that Nigerians are too poor to revolt. Have you heard that? They say Nigerians are too poor. They are too weak to revolt. Hunger in the land. They are all enough to keep all of you under their control, so to say. Well, time will tell. That's something I do know. Time will tell. But before the time tells, though, right? I don't know if you know this, but you need to follow it too, okay? Right now, as people are complaining about hunger, this, hunger, that, the Nigerian politicians from across Nigeria, they are contemplating in creating the following states in Nigeria, just in case if you are not following them, okay? So